How's it going, guys? Brian Cusco here, Triple B. You see these retics going crazy back here? Got some rabbits thawing out right over there. It's gonna be a fun time in here. Today's guest is Mr. Josh Dovenbarger of Phantom Dragons. So if you like bearded dragons, well, today's episode is for you. And Josh had a really interesting thing to talk about, breeding not just for color and pattern mutations, but to actually make stronger animals physically. So that was pretty interesting to hear. And hey, you're watching Triple B TV. So how did you get into keeping?
Well, I got introduced to reptiles when I was about 8 years old. I was always really allergic to everything, so I really just, snotty, allergy-ridden kid. So my dad brought me home a garter snake, and it started from there. And then, I got a ball python after that, and some corn snakes, and a little kid. I had a pretty good sized collection of snakes and stuff like that, but I really didn't get into the breeding part until my late teens. And I started breeding the bearded dragons, and then it just kind of started from there. And started to do different chameleons and a bunch of different species of geckos and stuff. But I've always stuck to the dragons. They've always been kind of the...
And you've been coming to this show since the beginning of this show. You've known Rami since before even this show?
Yeah, I've known him, a long time before the shows. I remember when he did the Scottish Rite Center in San Diego, and that show was huge, and it was crazy. His first show was the biggest show in San Diego, at the time. So yeah, it's crazy to see it grow from that, all the way to what it is now.
Yeah, this is huge. This is huge here today.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest one I've been to, for sure. And it's always this one, this January
is the bigger of the two, right? Yeah.
Yeah. August is pretty big, but it seems like this particular...
I think that last August was they hit peak numbers, so they broke the record for attendance last August, yeah?
Yeah, it was crazy. And so I'm really happy for him. That's awesome.
Do you do the dragons full time, or is this full time for you?
Yeah. So I work probably 12 hours a day on them. So on average, every day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, everything. So
that's what happens when you work with animals. You don't get a day off.
Yeah, exactly. And my girlfriend Tracy, she has a whole collection of just random rare species that she works with, different frogs and everything. So I'm surrounded by it constantly. But we have an industrial building where we do the dragons, and we also breed crested geckos, chihuahuas. This last year, we did about 13,000 dragons. So this year, I think we'll probably do about 20,000 or so.
No kidding.
Yeah, so that's why I've been working constantly, trying to get the, it's like a machine. It's like I'm wired to it or something, so it's like I'm always adjusting things and everything else to try to keep it going. So it's all pretty much me, that's operating it, and keeping it going.
That's awesome. That's why if you're gonna work with stuff like this, I think you have to be you have to love what you're doing, because you're gonna be doing it all the time. If you don't like it, you're gonna burn out real quick.
Oh yeah, and the burnout is the hardest thing to deal with. I think it's I'm so used to it now. It's been about 22 years of breeding them. So it was weird. When I started, it was, I get burned out pretty easily, but now I'm just used to it. I think it's just second nature to me now. And my family is I have a lot of farmers and stuff in my family. So I think it's kind of in my blood
for sure.
To do it. Yeah. So, but this is my life. I'll be doing this until I die. I don't really think of anything else I could really do. I could probably go work at Home Depot or something, or something like that. But yeah, it's what I'm gonna do forever, So I love it.
Well, you got some animals, man. Can we check them out?
Yeah. This is a striped dragon. I've been working on these since 2004. They basically have the solid stripes that go down in yellow along the sides. I wish I could have brought a bigger one, but everything's going at it right now at the building, so I don't want to like break them.
You don't want to break up those relationships, those romances.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I brought this one and try to explain kind of what's going on with them. But it's hypomelanistic and it's translucent and it's leatherback and it's striped all in one animal. And these are pretty sought after. I mean, we sell them as fast as we can get them up to size, but it develops as they get bigger too. As it gets older, the stripes will get more bold and more orange and red. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
And it all started from one animal. So I started from one and bred it out, and just been kind of growing up a lot of stuff and developing it. But it's pretty crazy. It's crazy to think that this came from a wild type animal at one time. Like they've gone from like a gray normal dragon all the way to that, over the years.
Pretty amazing.
And we got guys like Bob, from Sandfire to thank for, all the colors and everything like that. I mean, he really is the one that came up with all the reds and the yellows and oranges and all that stuff. I know over time, people try to go, change the names of them and stuff, but really they're Sandfires, Sandfire yellow, Sandfire red, and all that. So
it's awesome, man. I've never kept a bearded dragon. I've never worked with them whatsoever. They're really cool. They seem very docile. Are they usually like this docile just as a species, or?
Pretty mellow. We have some that will bite the crap out of you. Okay. Actually, I brought another one has a little bit of an attitude, but generally they're pretty mellow. They're pretty easy, and they're great for kids and stuff like that. And every once in a while I'll get bit. It's usually by smaller ones.
Is their care pretty, they have to stay pretty hot?
Yeah, they don't really like it super hot.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, you got to think like, Anza Borrego or something like that, where, during July, August, September, when it's really hot, nothing's really going to be out during the day. It's going to hide and, come out in like the early morning and eat, and later in the evening to eat and stuff.
What do you generally recommend as a hot spot for them?
About 105.
Okay, so this is pretty warm. Compared to what I'm used to, I keep things at like a hot zone of 88.
Yeah. And like something like a flat rock or a brick or something underneath the light that absorbs heat, because belly heat is really important for them, I think.
Awesome, man. How many animals did you bring to?
Oh, I got a few of them.
Okay.
So this guy is a hybrid. This is hybrid Barbata and Viticeps. He's a beast. And he's you can kind of see, his mouth. His mouth is a little bit yellow. Some of the Barbatas have like a sort of a yellow like gums in their mouth.
Okay.
Not all of them, but a good amount of them. And so what I've been doing is taking these animals and breeding them into stuff like that and colors, and trying to keep this physical, characteristics, but have the colors and the stuff. Because over time, their snouts will get shorter, stuff like that. And so we kind of need to inject some muscle into them, So that's what I've been trying to do. And this is...
so physically, just the physical structure of this guy's face is just like...
He's rad. He's like a dinosaur.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, real prehistoric looking.
Amazing.
And this guy is one that I produced late last year. That's a descendant from him. So, I mean, it's basically a normal dragon, but,
Whoa.
So you can tell, like, his legs he's real, he's real meaty. I can hold him if you want to hold this guy. But you can tell he's going to be a large animal because of his legs are real big and fat and stuff. So, and their heads are a little narrow when they're younger, but as they get bigger, it will get more triangular, like this guy and stuff. So I've been really working on these, and we have a few different lines of them. So this is kind of a result of selective breeding for physical traits, So that's what.
Not going after the color with this, just getting
a
strong animal is the. That's cool, man. That's
we're trying to make like base animals. So I'm trying to make these normal base animals so that we can start adding stuff on top and strengthening them and making them. I'm not a fan of there's like dwarf dragons, like there's small Viticeps. I'm not a fan of.
Man, you're one of the first people I've talked to. Not that there aren't other people doing it, but you're one of the first people I can recall talking to now that
is breeding for physical traits, not color or pattern, but actual to make a strong animal.
Yeah, and I mean, we have to keep them going. That's the problem.
Because you can't bring any more.
Exactly.
In, yeah.
So we have no choice. I mean, we really have to keep them going and do certain breedings to keep them, going for generations. Because this is like a dragon from 20 years ago, but everyone's kind of working towards the same thing. So the genetics are getting bottlenecked. And so we're starting to have, problems where animals just won't breed, they won't reproduce, they won't do anything. So
gotcha.
We're trying to get them more strengthened up and beefed up. So I really like them. I mean, as far as my favorite dragons, these guys are my absolute favorite. They're just big, dinosaurs.
They're really cool. I've never kept lizards, man. I would love to someday keep a lizard.
Well, if you're ever interested in them, let me know.
I'll definitely come talk to you.
Yeah,
you're easy to talk to. It's nice.
It's crazy to think that they kind of went from that to that.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's so just it's like it's from outer space or something.
It almost crazy. like it has a tuatara-ish almost kind of like feel. I feel like that's like the closest living thing to a dinosaur, right? The tuatara.
Exactly. And since I was a kid, I've always been into dinosaurs, so I used to draw pictures of them all the time. And, I'd be at my grandma's house and I'd be drawing pictures every day after school of dinosaurs and T-Rexes and stuff. And
sweet,
man. Pretty crazy. And now I'm still the same, even as an adult, it's still the same.
Are these the three? Did you bring any
more? I brought a couple more of them. This one's got attitude. So these two guys, these are anomalies that we produce. These are like probably something along the lines of a chimera or something. I don't know. They're like half zero and they're like half, regular. So there's only, that one's got a little bit of an attitude. But there's only 5 of these in existence. We have 2 of them. Another guy in the United States has one that he got from us, and then a guy in Japan has the other 2.
Okay.
And they're all coming from the same animals from us, so it's pretty crazy, but it's just something different, just an anomaly. It's got like just patches of, 0, which is patternless, and then the rest is kind of like normal. So I don't really know exactly what they are. It's like I said, probably like a chimera or something like that.
Crazy.
So far, we have not been able to get viable offspring from them, so it kind of makes me think that's probably something like that. Yeah, she's not having it.
Sorry, Missy. I was trying to hold you in a way that's comfortable for you.
We had her at the booth, and she was just not, with all the people and everything, she's just like not having it.
Yeah, these shows are big. The animals are, there's a lot of people around, a lot of action, a lot of not normal everyday activity going on.
Yeah, exactly. And you can tell the head structure is different on these animals when they're big compared to the hybrid. And so, I mean, it's not bad, but I personally like the other look of them better. The more pointed snout and triangular like look to them. But yeah, pretty interesting. Every year it's something different. We always trying to keep up with the animals and keep up with making new stuff and working on new stuff. And most people aren't interested in these animals.
This is my favorite one right here, to be honest.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, and that's my thing. I love them, even though it's just a normal dragon. It's cool looking. I mean, that's the way they would normally look, anyways. In the wild. So
really cool.
Crazy.
Hey, Josh, I appreciate you coming over, taking time to talk to us today, man.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Josh is a great guy, real easy to talk to. I had a lot of fun having you on, man. Thank you for coming on and doing the interview. It's a good time. Next week, we're going to be speaking with the man, Ahmad Osman of Aussie Boyds, however you like to say it. And that should be a pretty good one. The man is a G, and we're going to talk about cool stuff like snakes and being a cool guy and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you can join us then. Until then, you've been watching Triple B TV. Y'all take care.
This guy I had to shorten his name. It's probably not for children, but it's called MDF. He has his own Facebook page and everything. And when he was small, he was the nastiest dragon ever. I mean, he just would, any chance he would get, he would bite you. But now he's pretty mellow now. He's pretty good.
It's hard for when there's somebody that I need to like keep prodding to get them to say something. That's when it's a struggle for me, because I just need the person to talk about stuff, and you just.
Well, I talk about this stuff all day, but you know, when you get on the spot, it's like, you know.
That's why I try to engage. Like I said, basically, I'm just here to make you feel comfortable. I can't really, you know.
I think my fear is I'll have like a booger hanging out of my nose or something, you know.
I'm gonna go up to the room and take a nap.
Oh shit. Okay. Riley's officially fired.
He's going.
Do I know you? Is this thing on? Have you seen my mommy?
Hey, where's your mom? She was here last time, wasn't she?
That's a very applicable statement. Have you seen my mommy?
She was really nice.
Dude, I love my mom, dude. I've got super lucky. As long as you start recording with it, as long as you got a red dot for recording.
Yeah, you are very lucky.
I am definitely lucky. I would never lose sight of the fact of how very lucky I am. Don't mind me and my my nature.
No
It's a crucial part of everything that happens.
You know, over time.
I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Oh man.
Sick a tang, sick a tang, sick a tang, sick a tang, tang, tang. Sick a tang, sick a tang, sick a tang, sick a tang. Crazy. Josh Dovenbarger. Where's my phone at? I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Next week,